extraterrestrial intervention at Fatima, something like this. You can find any reference you want on the internet. And because of his articles about the first secret of Fatima, and at that time, year 2000, there was also the conference press held by the Vatican, and there was the official revelation by the Vatican of the first secret of Fatima. And if you read the revelation, there is a vision of a bishop dressed in white who dies together with other Christians. But there is no sign of cataclysms, problems for all the earth. But for example, there is a nice book, this one, written by a very famous Italian journalist. Its name is Antonio Socci. He wrote a book, and the title is Il quarto segreto di Fatima, which in Italian means the fourth secret of Fatima. It doesn't mean that there is the fourth secret, it's just a play of words, but supported by strong evidence which indicate that there is a part of the secret that maybe was not released to the public yet. And according to this book, to the author, Antonio Socci, he found out that, because of his researches, that maybe the secret written by Sister Lucia dos Santos was divided in two parts. One part is the so-called vision, which was made public and is the official version, according to the author, released by the Vatican in year 2000. But maybe, according to the author, there is another piece of the secret which is still secret, and that one would be the explanation of the vision.
Okay, now this is the vision. The vision was of the bishop in white.
Yes.
With some people.
Christians.
Who died.
Who died in terrible way.
A terrible way.
They don't die because of natural causes. They die because somebody is killing them.
Somebody.
Yes. Soldiers, if I remember correct.
Okay, now is this written about by Barbato when he talked about the third secret of Fatima?
Unfortunately, I have no the copies of the magazines.
But this definitely took the Jesuits' attention, was brought to this.
You got the point. Because of this, because Barbato, of course, was not convinced that message was the original message written by Sister Lucia. But we know that Sister Lucia wrote a lot about the first secret of Fatima, maybe some notes about the vision, and maybe a few lines about the explanation of the vision. And we are talking about what the Blessed Virgin Mary told her in the far year 1917 in Portugal at Fatima. And also, because in this book, there is the research, the historical research, who indicates that Lucia, one of the three children, had a lot of problems to put on the paper the secret, because the secret was, maybe full of difficult things to accept. And if you pay attention to the other secrets, the third and the second, were about wars, the loss of faith, the rise of communism in Soviet Union. We are talking about, planetary events. So it's quite strange, that the first secret is a death of a bishop on some stairways. It doesn't make too much sense according to me. But anyway, this book is very important. But does not mention Cristoforo Barbato. But for example, it mentions Malachi Martin, who was a former Jesuit, very famous in the United States of America, because
Malachi Martin?
Malachi Martin,
yes.
He participated to the Coast to Coast talk show.
Absolutely.
Hosted by Art Bell.
Very respected.
And he died in 1999.
That's
but
right.
he did something about the first Circuit of Fatima. He was not Jesuit anymore because he worked by the Holy See in Vatican in the 60 years of the last century. He was one of the assistants of a cardinal. So, in my opinion, he had the possibility to be involved in some secret aspects of the Vatican affairs. Anyway, in that book, Antonio Socci wrote a few lines about Malachi Martin and is not too much convinced about his witnesses, about his testimony. But anyway, it's important because he mentioned Malachi Martin in that book, and it doesn't mention Cristoforo Barbato researches. He mentioned Malachi Martin because of his statement made at Coast to Coast Art By Show, but he doesn't mention what Malachi Martin said at Art By Show about something that is approaching us according to Malachi Martin's words. And this is a quite important point.
What did Malachi Martin say was approaching?
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes, I remember. I have the transcript of his words. I can read it for you. But anyway.
That's okay. We can put the words on the screen.
Yeah, I can tell you.
And you can tell us your version.
Yes. The main point is the building of a new telescope by the Vatican on Mount Graham in Arizona. This is an official astronomical site held by Vatican in collaboration with the Arizona University. The name is Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope. It is in public domain. They have a website, and the telescope has a diameter, as a mirror with a diameter about 1.8 meter. It's expensive, a few $1 million.
Why is that significant?
Yeah, because it's a little bit strange that you build an advanced telescope if, I mean, the main affairs of your country is keeping the faith, the Catholic faith alive. So the question made by Art Bell to Malachi Martin was, why did they do this, Father? And the answer of the former Jesuit Malachi Martin was the following, if I remember. Because those who are amongst the highest levels of the Vatican and the geopolitics know that what is approaching us could be of great import in the next 5 years, 10 years, unquote. And this was said in 1997. Now we are in 2008. But, the problem is that we are facing radical climate changes. So if you give a look to the scientific articles about climate changes, there is not, just one line. There are different lines.